Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release, and they said it couldn't be done, but here we are in September of 1982. Last reading, Electronic Games Magazine. Oh man, was it fun, and now we got lots of games to play, so let's go. Our very next game is on the TRS-80, the original TRS-80. Most likely you got the Model 3 right now, and this is Engine Driver. Engine Driver is a very obscure one, only a few screenshots that we have, so it's time to pop in and play some Engine Driver. This is by Bob Burton, published by Molomerks at the beginning of September 1982. And the first thing you gotta know is how to run this, because it's a little more complicated than usual. We actually have to type in some code. It wouldn't be a good video gaming episode if we weren't typing in something. Ready, set, engage. Oh, I hope so, yes. Smokey Joe is a fantastic firefighting game. Not necessarily a train game. This is all train. So we're going to be playing a train video game. At this point, there's less than a handful of train games. The most recent one was in the arcade by Konami and Sega called Locomotion. Doesn't even play like that one. And it doesn't play like Sidetrack that we saw in the arcades from 1979. That was more like Head On. This one's completely different. Oh, this is charming. They give us a train. Okay, so we want to know how to play this. Hit clear for instructions. Oh man, I can just imagine the kids that love trains playing this. This program allows you to control 4 trains and points on a track layout by means of the computer keyboard. By the way, what you see going around right now on the screen, that's the train. It is literally the absence of pixels. That's what the train is on the track. Trains are controlled by holding down a number key from 1 to 4 and use the up-down arrow keys to alter speed. Points are identified by a letter of the alphabet and changed by pressing the appropriate letter key. So you are going to be controlling 4 trains at once. It's in real time. The object is to halt trains at stations in any order. Press the spacebar while halted, and the train number will appear at the station indicating it has been counted. So we have to take trains and get them to stations. Train number 5 is running out of control on the track and must not be allowed to collide with any other trains or to run off. Yikes. Scary. Okay, so that means we're ready to go. I'm just going to let us crash because I want you to see what this game is. On the TRS-80, you are controlling every one of those absence of pixels around the screen. And whenever you want to make a switch to a track, like if I do Station A, I can lift this up and the train goes up to Station A. Oh, I want to slow it down though. Easy now. Oh, see, I've already crashed it. So the first thing you got to see is on this screen, what are you witnessing? What is this? It doesn't even look like anything. It looks like nothing with trains. I think on the show, we've already played 3 train games or games that have any trains at all. So it's still a fresh idea, but you got to admit, this is pretty rough. Oh, crash, press enter. Let's go. There we go. Yeah, I know. It's not even a pixel. I guess this is the only pixel you have of a train right here. But other than that, the trains are nothing. It's really, this is like the lowest quality we could have. All right, so let's slow this down, nice and easy. There you go. See, I'm bringing one to Station A. Nope, go the other way. Oh, I already crashed him. It's really tricky because you're having to control all 4 trains at once, and then you got a 5th train that's just going crazy. No one has control of it. It doesn't have a mind of its own. If you look at the gameplay, it's pretty confusing to explain. So let's try this again. I'm going to open up gate A, have the train come up there, and then I'm going to hold down number 1 on the keyboard and control the first train. I want to slow you down in Station 1. You can see it's coming into the station. Nice and easy now. And we got it. Okay, good. Now let's move on to another train. I got to spot which one we want to do. They're all over the place. All right, let's open up gate D. You can see this one opens up and then kind of get... Oh, I messed it up. So you have to hit E at the right time as well. So it's a real-time sort of strategy game, but if you're a fan of trains, I mean, you'd love it because it's controlling where the trains are going to go. You actually can control the speeds of all the trains, 1 through 4, and then that 5th train you just got to watch out for. Very interesting concept, very original concept, but you got to admit, it's a little rough. It is difficult to get into. It's one of those very obscure video games. Who was playing this right now when it came out in 1982? I'd love to know. All right, so I missed the boat on that one. So I can go ahead and move all the trains. Let's slow them all down. I'll slow those down. You can see I'm just picking each train and I'm slowing it down so we can see which one's the 5th train. Where's number 4? Oh, there he is. Okay, so all 4 of my trains are really slow. They're creeping to a crawl. And that 5th train's the one coming up on the top left, all the way around, about to smash in, and boom, there's the crash. So you have to simultaneously work every single train, the speeds of each train, and get them in all the stations. You also could call this, I guess, a puzzle game, too. It's a real-time puzzle game, trying to get all the trains to line up. Yeah, lots of imagination, but you gotta love the originality. For someone who can verify this is an original game, this is a really unique idea and a great idea. The execution's a little sloppy because there's not much really to go on. You have nothing else really to compare this to in all of video gamedom. Yes, we are going to be playing later Densha de Go, if you're familiar with that series. But right now in 1982, this is what you would get for the best way to play some train games. I love the idea of switching it around, and you would spend some time learning which gate needs to go where and how to get each train into the station and away from that train number 5. So you can see we can start first by getting our first train in there, and then slowing down the other train so they don't crash into anybody else. Yeah, I believe this was TRS-80 only. There is no other port or no other way to play this except right here. On your TRS-80 Model 3, I hope, by 1982. All right, so let's go train A, and then slow you down. Oh, no. Nice and easy. And then close A again. And then let's go to the next one. Where's my next guy? Let's see. This guy is opening up E. Oh, okay, so certain gates can only open a certain way. So if you open it the wrong way, then the train crashes, like I tried on gate E. Really, really cool concept. I actually would want to get into this and play a little bit more, get used to it, because it's such a fresh idea. Yes, playable. It is playable. It is doable, and it is quite charming. For all of those that had train sets, you'd be able to make this work. This would be possible. With your imagination, of course. You can see here train 5 is catching up and smashing us at the bottom. And it does take a lot of practice to get the gates down because this is keyboard only. You can't do this with a joystick. You have to type in all the letters to the gates. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. And I think, yeah, that's all the gates to open and close to allow the trains to go through. So really, really fun. I don't know how I would describe the rating for this game, though, because there's nothing else to compare it to. So of all the games you can play on a home computer, I gotta say this one's around average, maybe even possibly above average. For graphics, obviously it's not doing any justice. The train sounds work for the TRS-80. The original TRS-80, there's not too much you could do, but I'm seeing already Charlie's throwing out 3.5 stars above average. Errol's going 2-ish. Yes, I know. Yeah, it's very difficult to rate this one against everything you play on a home computer because there's no other home computers doing this. The only thing we have is a train game in the arcade called Sidetrack. That's more like Head On. And then we have the one that just came out called Locomotion, which was more like a sliding puzzle in the arcade. Manly's throwing out 3, 2.5 from Bartow Man. Yeah, I'm actually going to say around average. 3 stars for all the games you can play, even though this isn't an average game. It's a really cool idea, though. There's much better that you could be playing on home computers for sure. Yes, yeah, I bet, Victor. All right, and then let's go to our next game. We're now on the Commodore VIC-20. This is English Invaders. Not going to spend too long on English Invaders because this box and this game are educational game. It's meant to be teaching you English in a very rudimentary sense. Here's the front of the box. You don't need to have any expansion done to your VIC-20 to play. We're just going to pop in very briefly because it actually has some gameplay and it's not just for little kids. So this is by Com Data Computer House, published by them and Rabbit Software when it came out in the UK at some time in the beginning of September 1982. So there's our controls. You're going to shoot nouns, adjectives, or verbs, and you move left and right. Ready to go. So there you go, moving left, and then you have to hit Z, X, or C for noun, adjective, or verb. Not very intuitive, but you just pick one of the ones from there. So melt, that would be a verb. So you have to push the right key to shoot the right one. So it's pretty much Space Invaders or a slow version of Space Invaders, but it's learning how to read or use nouns, adjectives, and verbs. So educational title. So I'm going to be rating this low, but cool that we have a game that is where you're moving left and right and you're actually firing or shooting something. And if you do the wrong one, it goes right through like that. Yeah, there's noun. I'm not going to play any more than that. So you got the idea. That's English Invaders. There's no other game modes. That's all you get. I'm sure someone played this at school. Did you play this whenever you were in elementary school? No, that's right, Victor. It's no number munchers, but I wanted to play just a little bit because we are going to see this evolution of educational games get better and better. This is still the beginning. One of the best ones we've seen with educational games behind it was Rocky's Boots. Check out that one. But English Invaders, it's poor. It's pretty poor. It's way down here. I would say close even to the broken range because just how simple it is. I'm going to have to go 1, maybe 1.5 stars. I can't say it's completely, I won't say completely broken, but yeah, 1.5 stars because it does have some gameplay, and it is Space Invaders-ish. You're going to shoot something. That's always fun. Yeah, Bartol Man's with me with 1.5 as well. Yes, this was also one of the kind of games you'd be forced to play in school, so it's not really something enjoyable. I want to play some English Invaders. No one ever said that. All right, let's go to our next title. Also released for the Atari VCS, here's Fast Eddie. Fast Eddie is the next latest game for your Atari. This is by 20th Century Fox, the second game we've seen by them. First being Deadly Duck, if y'all remember that one. Let's see if this one fares any better. 20th Century Fox essentially just said, we need to get people to make video games for us, so let's go to Serious Software. And Serious Software did a lot of the development for these titles, including Fast Eddie. You can see it in the bottom left, programmed by Serious. Let's flip it over in the back. 8 levels of play. On your mark, get ready. Here comes Fast Eddie. Eddie's on a wild treasure hunt, climbing up and down ladders everywhere in search of prizes. Man, since Mario, everyone's got to climb ladders and things. It would be a lot easier for Eddie if it weren't for all those pesky little sneakers running around. They literally keep him jumping. Look, Eddie, there's a magic floating heart on the 2nd floor and another on the 3rd. Go get him, Fast Eddie. Look out for that sneaker. Fast Eddie, if it's on the Atari, I don't know. We might be seeing Slow Eddie here. I know it's only 1-player game, 1 controller shown on the back. Let's see the other arc we have for Fast Eddie. Is there anybody out there that's other fans of Fast Eddie? This is one I did not play whenever it came out on the Atari. So let's check it out together. There's another reconstructed box for Fast Eddie. There's the cartridge we're going to pop in and play. Fox Video Games is the name of the publisher. Serious Software did it. Very cool. Yes, a Donkey King clone. If you saw the Donkey King, it is the king of the Donkey Kongs right now. Here's the manual for Fast Eddie. Let's see how to play. Artwork is very reminiscent of, they're doing the motif with characters with mustaches, but the character in the game, the Atari can't really give you a mustache. You remember Mario when we played Donkey Kong on the Atari VCS. So there's Fast Eddie. He looks more like a carny, running around the carnival, jumping over stuff. Set up the game. You make sure your system's turned off, of course, power it on. With the difficulty switches are set in, or they're not used in Fast Eddie, so you don't have to worry about those. Demo mode starts like usual, and then there's the objective with an example of the screenshot. We have sneakers here because this is another video game made by Mark Turmel. Mark Turmel we're going to see a lot later in the 90s, but so far we've already seen Mark Turmel do Sneakers on home computers, Beer Run, and Free Fall. And Beer Run happens to be the very first platformer that we ever played on any home computer. So way to go, Mark Turmel, for that. And here it is, another platformer. Shows us what everything is, the prizes you got to collect. You tilt your joystick left and right and make Eddie run back and forth across each floor. Tilting the joystick forward and backward gets him climbing up and down ladders. We're familiar with this control scheme. It's just like Donkey Kong. Press the button, makes him jump. Jumping is the latest craze. For the big leap, press the button while you're running, of course. And then black and white causes... Oh, cool. So they use the black and white color switch on your Atari to pause the game. Pausing was kind of a big thing late 80s and then late 81 and then early 82. And a lot of home computers do this, like the Atari has a pause feature. Pausing an arcade game, I mean, that's just too cool. Sneakers are little creatures who guard the prizes, and the sneakers are an homage to his Mark Turmel's other game, Sneakers. Eddie's only defense is to climb to another floor or hop over the little pests, different sizes and combinations. So we got slightly different enemy types that we'll be playing. The lives are displayed at the top, points gained, and then the prizes. Every single level that we go through has different things to grab, like hearts and things like that. And then we get an extra life, I believe, if we go to if we collect them all. After you get all the prizes, then a key appears. Get that key, then you go to the next screen for new prizes. You begin each game with 4 Fast Eddies or 4 lives. And there's the difficulty levels and play screens. Is there something with the, game select switch? So it's very similar to Deadly Duck. Whenever you click the game select switch in Deadly Duck, all you're doing is going to the next level. So if you started on the first level, it's automatically going to go to the next one already. It really is not another game variation. So 20th Century Fox games on the Atari, not giving us the variations we're used to seeing. And I remember now when we played Deadly Duck, I had hit the game select switch so many times, we had that large barrier of dragonflies going back and forth. So now we know we can just start at the beginning and then go from there. So there's the points displayed, and I think they're doing with the screenshot. It's not a legit screenshot. I think it's a manufactured one. They made something up. And then we got some hints and tips from the designer of how to play. Thanks, Mark Trammell, if it really is from you. And then coming soon, more games based on hit movies. 20th Century Fox, Porky's, the game that, why would you make a game on Porky's, coming out. Then we have Six Pack, 9 to 5. 9 to 5, is Dolly Parton in that one? And then Megaforce and Turmoil coming up soon with a high score table. I guess you can do that yourself because it's not in the game. Defender. Very cool. And for other versions, this is also available later, published by Activision, then CCE, and then there's also another one called Mr. T by Starsoft in PAL regions, and Turmoil also in PAL regions. It's a pirated version. Let's pop in and play the first one. This is by Mark Trammell of Serious Software, published by Fox Video Games, the beginning of September 1982. Yes, it starts with a demo mode. There he is, Fast Eddie. He kind of looks like Bounty Bob from Miner 2049er. Which we've already played that one only on the Atari home computer. But on the home console, we haven't seen Miner 2049er yet. I know, I want to see more complex game variations, and this one really doesn't have it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. You can see the game mode showing up on the screen. That's much better than Deadly Duck. They didn't show anything, but as we go from each game variation, it's just going to each level. So there's what level 7 looks like. Very cool. Notice that we have a stretched out. Wow, they stretch the enemies out. A feature that Atari VCS has. All right, let's go in. There I am. I am Fast Eddie at the bottom. Collect all the hearts. And bear in mind, we haven't seen Popeye yet in the arcade. So collecting hearts, I don't think they got that from Popeye. When you climb ladders, you're temporarily invincible. So notice whenever one of the sneakers came over, it didn't automatically kill me because when you're on the ladder, you get a little invincibility. We've already seen Donkey Kong on the Atari, so as far as platformers go, it's still a new idea for consoles, fairly new idea. This is definitely taking some ideas from Donkey Kong. There's the key, jump up and grab it. Very nice, flashy, move on to the next level. Whenever I jump, I'm committed to the jump. So Fast Eddie, I like his walk animation. He is pretty quick, but whenever you do the jump, that's it. There is no changing direction. Even when standing still, we commit to the jumps here in 1982. Oh, he got me at the bottom there. Let's go to the top, make our way this way. Every time you go level to level, the enemies get faster and faster. And notice how we have some of the sneakers that are standing still first, and then later they're going to start moving. You don't get any points for clearing any of the enemies, like you do with the barrels in Donkey Kong. But yeah, it works great for a platformer. Fairly simple design, easy to pick up and play. Grab the key, move on. Now it looks like we're picking up tanks. I'll take it. I like it better when they move. Every single one of them moves. But once you pick up enough, then the key shows up at the top, and you just keep moving on to the next level. The Glob. We haven't seen that one yet. Unless you're speaking of the future. I was going to say the hearts give the Popeye feel, but we haven't seen Popeye even in the arcades yet. But in a way, Popeye was originally going to be designed for Donkey Kong, and then they had to change it up because they didn't get the license. But even still, I think of Popeye when I think of the hearts. There we go. We got it. Just got to get to the top, grab the key, and keep us going for the high score. So game enemies just change a little bit, very little. It's pretty similar to how they were in Sneakers, but Sneakers wasn't a platformer. Mark Turmel did that more like a shooter. And every level gives you something different as your goal to collect. This works really, really well. Plays well, fun, easy to pick up and go, and especially for people that aren't used to playing a platformer. In a way, you could compare this to Donkey Kong on the Atari VCS. Would you give Fast Eddie as good as Donkey Kong on Atari, or would you say that Fast Eddie's better or Donkey Kong's better? Now, again, we're saying Donkey Kong on the Atari VCS, you know, the one with gingerbread Donkey Kong. Yes, keep saying the random words, Victor, from that random time traveler. I love it. Yes, that's true. He is fast, so he's living up to his name. Let's go to a level that has one of the, insane stretched out sneakers. Every time you start, you get... I don't think I can jump over that. Can you even clear it? Oh, you can if you have the right timing. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so you go to higher levels, and you got to be really, really quick with the jumps to collect all the hearts and move on. It's almost like each floor is... Before you go up, you need to think of how you're going to tackle it. Like this one at the top? I don't know how I'm going to... Yeah, because the sneakers are going through each... Yeah, they wrap around the left side. I see. This one runs after me after I chase him. Nice. Yeah, you have to know the pattern of the third floor. And the timing whenever you climb at the top of the ladder. Wow. Oh, really, Brian? You played this over Donkey Kong. Bear in mind the number of screens. Notice how we've switched to this screen. So the levels change very, very, very little. There's they explain on the box how many screens it was, but it's not anything as robust or crazy as Donkey Kong. Like these screens look like Space Panic or Apple Panic, you know, just ladders and platforms. There's nothing really to jump from. And the climbing of ladders happens automatically. All I got to do is just tap the joystick down. He climbs down by himself. So I cannot just hang out on a ladder. Once you go to the ladder, you commit to the ladder climb too. Oh, that's the other trick they said in the tips and hints. Some of the enemies that don't wrap on the side of the screen or wrap around the side of the screen, you can hang out on the edge and then do the jump from there. Very cool. So at this point, we played across all video games 15 different Donkey Kong variants. 15 different Donkey Kong games. So far on consoles, there are 9 platformers. So this game is only really being compared to 9 other games. That's it. And the biggest contenders that are out there are Police Jump on the VTech Creativision, Pickaxe Pete on the Odyssey 2, and also on the Philips Video Pack, I believe. And then Monkey Shines on the Odyssey 2, and a Pitfall, of course, but that's really not comparing. Pitfall's a totally different league than this one. And then Tax Avoiders and Donkey Kong and King Kong. So this game is really only being compared to those games. That's what it has for the rest of platformers. Oh, Bart's going 3.5 to 4. Very nice. So we here on the show gave Donkey Kong on the Atari VCS a 3-star rating of everything you could be playing right now on a console. And so Fast Eddie, I got to give the nod. It's really close. I would even say for me, Donkey Kong would just get a slight notch better than Fast Eddie. So I would still say of everything you can play on a console, it's still around average. 3 stars for everything so far. Oh yeah, Donkey King, but that's home computers, so I would consider it a completely different league. As far as platformers on consoles, or everything you play right now on consoles, Fast Eddie is fairly average. Maybe even 3.5 stars, but still around the average range. And Jade Baby Doll's going 3 as well. It doesn't have as much variety or changing gameplay that Donkey Kong offers. And Donkey King just had terrible controls. At least this one's a little bit better with the way it plays. But that's not all. It's more of Fast Eddie, because after the release of what it was on the console, then we had Fast Eddie for the Atari home computer. Now, the Atari home computer and our next release are later in the year. We're going to lump them all together. They are very, very similar. So Fast Eddie, for the front of the box, it's the exact same box we saw on the Atari VCS. They just smacked a sticker that says it's for Atari home computers on it. That's it. Yep, same 8 levels of play. In fact, I'd love to know if you know the difference between the other ports of Fast Eddie. So here on the Atari home computer, it's identical to the Atari VCS. The manual is slightly different. It starts the same way. There we go to begin on your system. If you have the VIC-20 or the Commodore 64, what to look for. And we're going to be seeing that soon too. The objective is to help them capture as many floating prizes as you can, jump them and grab them. Shows the joystick control, because we're essentially taking the same joystick we played on our Atari VCS and plugging it into our Atari home computer. And the sneakers are the little critters that guard the prizes. Nice, yeah, it's pretty much the same manual, and even hints from the designer. So kind of cool that even though on the going from console to the computer, they have almost the same one. With some other titles by Serious Software too. Very nice touch. All right, let's play Fast Eddie. This is by Tom McWilliams of Serious Software at sometime the beginning of September 1982. Yeah, will it be faster? I don't know. Can you tell? I don't think it looks any different or higher quality than the other Fast Eddie. Here we go. Yep, there it is. Looks and plays almost identical to what it was in the Atari VCS. I believe they have a little count of lives. We didn't have that on the Atari VCS. But the control is the exact same. No changes whatsoever. Usually we got something that looks different on the Atari home computer, because this eventually will be what the Atari 5200 is, and I can't tell the difference. There's our key at the top. Jump over the poop emoji. But that would be dating me. Those don't exist now. What's an emoji? I don't know. It's September 1982. Grab the fish. Yeah, so it's the same great game you'd play, but now the stakes are a little higher, because platformers on a home computer are much, much higher than a home console. So this one's up to even stiffer competition than Fast Eddie on the... You know, I might have to redo my vote then, because I think I might do for the VCS a 3.5 star, and then for Fast Eddie here, I do 3 stars on the Atari. And then key at the top, grab it, move on to the next one. Yeah, lots of fun. Someone says a tad slower. Maybe this is Slow Eddie, or slower Eddie than it was on the Atari VCS. There we go. Yep, I'm going to have to change it up. After playing that on the Atari home computer, I'll give a notch above for the console version. To play this compared to the other ones on the console, I'll go 3.5 stars for Fast Eddie on the Atari VCS. But then on the home computers, for everything we played so far, I'll say Fast Eddie is a 3. 3 stars of all the games you could play, because, oh man, there's some really good ones on home computers. And I'm looking at you, Donkey King, that we just played recently. That one's like the bar of where everything should be held. Charlie's going 3 as well. Yeah, it's not really doing a lot of stuff to push an exceptional or a really good game. Because if you think of when Pitfall comes out, it's hard to compare anything after that. It's at least as far as platformers go. Unless you want to think about, for home consoles, comparing it to Tax Avoiders, which I don't think anyone should. But there's one more that comes out before the end of the year. Next year, Fast Eddie is on the Commodore VIC-20 that we'll see in 1983. But before we finish 1982, there was one more port for Fast Eddie, and it's on this computer. That would be how I wake up in the morning. Playing music too, all right. And I get my turn on the Commodore 64. That's right, it's Fast Eddie for the Commodore 64. Before we close out 1982, it comes out at some point toward the end. And this one looks exactly the same as the other ones we've already seen. For the front of the box, oh, I didn't want the video. For the front of the box, it looks the same. They just slap a sticker that says it's for the Commodore 64. You need the 1541 disk drive to play. Very nice with an example of the screenshot. Here we go. Let's play some Fast Eddie. This is by Kathy Bradley, again by Serious Software. At some time in 1982, let's do it. I know, yeah, fire it up right now. So this one is has a trainer on it, so we can add infinite lives and invincibility for this one. I'm going to say no to each one and go in. Yes, look at the logo. The Serious Software logo with Fast Eddie. And we even have the demo mode is showing more gameplay. It's not just Eddie sitting at the bottom. It had a little opening. Okay, there it is. That's the same opening I was expecting. Yeah, part of the reason some people come on the show is just for the commercials, to see the craziness of commercials from the 80s. I know, right? I love all the trademarks everywhere. All right, so let's go right in. We get a little ditty, very nice. Look at him. So Fast Eddie still, you can't see his mustache, but I actually think this one is really close. It's doing something different with the graphics, but it's still pretty much the exact same game. Gameplay's the same. Yeah, the way you control Fast Eddie's the same. His jump, yeah, there's no difference to any of it. Maybe we'll have a cutscene like Donkey Kong. I'm not going to go near that sneaker. I bet he'll chase after me. Let's see, come down here. No, we'll just keep going. Collect the heart there. Yeah, and then we got our key. And move on to the next one. It's more Fast Eddie than you can shake a finger at here on Chronologically Gaming. And now that I'm playing more and more, it's starting to get more addictive, where I want to play more Fast Eddie. It's doing something. Maybe Mark Trammell was up to something. Barto's still saying 2.5 for this one as well, but it's on the Commodore 64. You saw the commercial. This is even better. This is the best way to play Fast Eddie. It's way cooler. Running around and jumping in video games is so new, and it's just so fun. I'll never forget on the channel when we played Donkey Kong in arcades for the very first time. It felt like I was playing a video game that was years in the future. The idea just felt so fresh. I really don't play many modern games. Because of the show, I like to be in the moment of 1982 and forget about modern games and only rate them in the context of this. What you're seeing right now are the games that come out right now. There we go, yes. Hunter doesn't like something about the graphics. Is it because they're not as detailed? Maybe because we're so used to high-res graphics on home computers. We go back to consoles and you forget the other ones that are out there. Now, bear in mind, I did rate a very obscure game called Police Jump for a very obscure console called Creativision. That was a Donkey Kong clone, and it was really good. You were running around the screen as a policeman, but I gave that one 5 stars because it was a really well done clone that most people never heard of. But for a home console, it's amazing. But here we are on a home computer. I still got to say, even though it's on the Commodore 64, still around average. Yes, the tune in the front or the ditty in the front isn't enough to really push it over the top. There's many more platformers we played on home computers. Some of them have been really, really simple. And this one still works very well. Very fun game. Yeah, smooth. All right. So there you go. Of all the games so far in 1982, there's your full-on Fast Eddie. Everything involving Fast Eddie. For this one, I gotta say, still the same. Of all the games you can play right now on a home computer, it's still about average. It's around 3 stars of all the games so far. There are better Donkey Kong variants like Canyon Climber, Cannonball Blitz, but then there's actual straight-up Donkey Kong games like Donkey King that's out there. Charlie's thrown out 3 as well. Very, very nice. So there you go, Fast Eddie. We'll see you again later. It's going to be ported to some other things too. And with that, let's see our next game. We're back on the Atari VCS, and we're going to play some Final Approach. This one looks like business software. Final Approach. Oh yes, let's get serious on the Atari VCS. This one's by Apollo. This is Apollo's 5th game for the Atari VCS. Flip it over on the back. The front of the box, though, that's fancy. Really fancy. You are an air traffic controller. What? On the Atari? At a busy regional airport, you provide a safe and orderly flow of aircraft to the airport area and direct those stopping into your airport to a safe landing. We got 8 variations. 1 or 2 player air traffic controller? How in the world are they going to do that? What is Apollo thinking? Why would they do that? What audience is this for? Why would you want to do air traffic controller? Marshall's familiar with this one? Yes, this is the very first air traffic controller video game for any console ever. We've already seen about 2 to 3 air traffic controller games for home computers, and then there was even earlier ones before that. The biggest one, or the most popular one, is by Avalon Hill for home computers, but consoles, no. Why would anyone buy this for a console? It makes no sense. Let's see if we have any other artwork for Final Approach. We got the dirty, gritty one, and then the cleaned up one. Messy and squeaky clean. And then back of the box, yep, same one. I prefer the dirty, gritty. Give me the real scans. There's the ad you would have seen in magazines for the time for Apollo. Notice that when we play the games by 20th Century Fox on Atari and Apollo on the Atari, there's no commercials, like TV commercials. I know that some of them may have had them, but no one has recorded them for us to play. Or maybe they didn't do it. And there's the cartridge we're going to pop in our Atari VCS. At this point, we don't have to blow on it because it's brand new. We just took it out of the box. I don't know if that guy's excited or not to play the game. I'm a little scared. All right, let's take a look at the manual for Final Approach. Oh, it's the whole thing. So this is the back of the manual over here in the bottom left, showing us the game number. We can play 1 or 2 players. I want to see how that works, how the scoring works, and then when a 1-player game, the game's concluded when you have your 4 control errors. In the 2-player game, games concluded when each player has committed 4 control errors. Okay, so it's alternate play. You try a few landings at the air traffic controller, and then someone else takes over. And gameplay is more challenging. Game 7 or easy for small children. Okay, so they do the children modes like that we've seen also on the Atari. Very nice. Yes. Okay, you never saw this one for real, right? Yes, that's right. Those 2 guys on the sofa. That's the United Kingdom commercial for the Atari. All right, so 8 game variations. It says, you are an air traffic controller at a busy international airport. I don't know why I'm reading this. I wouldn't buy this at the time. If you were going to the store to buy something for Atari, this isn't the game I'd be clamoring to buy. This is going to be in a bargain bin soon. Literally thousands of lives are in your hands every day as you guide airliners and small private aircraft taking off and landing. You try to stay relaxed under the intense pressure of your job. You must always be ready for emergencies. Final Approach is a 1 or 2 player game using joysticks. The difficulty switch, okay, they actually use the switch to go between fast and slow planes. And then you have different games that we saw on the grid in the back. Shows you how to use the controller. The aircraft, how do we play an air traffic controller game? Because on all consoles, since the beginning, the only game that's close to a flight simulator so far was B-17 Bomber. And that's it. That's really not an actual flight simulator. All these are on computers. So how do you play this? Aircraft will enter a radar screen randomly. There are up to 4 aircraft on the screen at a time. When the aircraft appears, you have to be heading in the fixed direction and take control to steer them in the desired direction. Each aircraft will remain in the last heading and must continually monitor their heading and change so the aircraft are spaced out in a manner. What? This sounds complicated. On a home console, if you allow an aircraft to go out of boundaries, it will reappear at any point on the screen. You also must ensure passengers are safe, keeping aircraft separated adequately. Allowing 2 or more aircraft to touch will be considered a near miss, and you'll be penalized for a control error. Or 1 life, it says. Your objective is on your radar screen to steer them at the end of the runway strobes heading toward the runway. From this position, the aircraft can make a landing on the runway if it's steered properly. For some reason, I'm getting some PTSD of Top Gun on the NES. Like, I'm not going to be able to land these planes. Once the aircraft's been positioned to start its approach, you can select the GCA screen and steer the aircraft down. What? There's another screen to the game? What? Yeah, there's 2. There's the ACR screen and then the GCA screen. And you land the plane that way. Aircraft under your control may suddenly start flashing, emitting a warning tone, indicating you have emergency and have to be brought for an immediate landing. Whoa, air traffic controller games on the Atari? Everyone cross your fingers and toes. We're going in. This is by Dan Oliver of Apollo at sometime the beginning of September 1982. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. Let's do this. So the different game modes, if I hit the select, you can see them switching through between 1 or 2 players at the top of the screen in the blue. We'll just go for game mode 1 and let's do this because if we play 1 player, nothing's going to happen. I'm in control of a cursor on the screen. It is a point and select game. Look at that. That's me moving the joystick around. And then an airplane shows up. I push the red button and now I'm in control of that blue plane. So this is me moving the blue plane around and I got to go in for a landing. And you can see there's 4 planes on the screen at a time. I move down to the runway. Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue. Here we go. Let's do it. Down here. Switch the view. Did the plane not make it? Oh, nope. Didn't make it. Turn around. Go back. It's got to be, oh, it's got to be right on the line. You got to be pixel perfect for it to work. All right, let's try it again. Go in for approach. Okay, go out of it. Switch screens. Huh? Any day now? Where's the plane? We need to land this. Oh, there it is. We did it. All right, so move it down. Nice and easy. Follow the approach. Good. Get it. Got it. And we get 25 points. We landed our first plane. I gotta be honest. In practicing for the game, I never landed any planes. I tried 3 times and I said, you know what, we're just going to do the live show and see what happens. And I can't believe I actually landed a plane. All right, so let's take control of red. So you are able to control each one. Take a look. You just send a plane on its direction like the green, and then you push the red button again, and you go back to another plane like the blue, and then give it a direction. Let's. I want you to go there, and then let's land the brown plane. So bring it in for an approach. Oh my gosh. Just picture Stryker in my ear. Listen, Stryker. Oh, we did it. Got it again. And move it down. All you gotta do is move the joystick, bring the plane down. I can't believe it. And we got it. They're giving a score based on, I guess, how close it is to the runway. And then once the plane makes it on the runway, you come back and see the brown plane is gone. It's disappeared. No way. Yeah, you're basically juggling planes. I have to admit, it's a little fun. What is going on? An air traffic controller game, and it's by Apollo on the Atari? This is not happening. Okay, I'm going to make sure this guy near misses. Let's go in for an approach here. But you can see I got a blue coming in. I got to stop him. And then switch. Got it. Go, go, go. The way you go down to the next screen... Oh, I missed. See, I didn't get the points for it. Yep. I got it. So the joystick going left and right moves the plane on the bottom plane, bottom area, and then the joystick going up and down moves the plane on the top area. What in the world? Hunter's going 4 stars of all the games you could play on a home console? That is hilarious. I'm amazed at how well this plays. We've already played on home computers air traffic controller games or business management simulations or even flight simulators, but this one's kind of a cool idea. It works really well for this time. All right, let's get a good approach. Come down. Too fast. Yep, didn't make it. So you don't get the points for it. And it even lowers your score. Look in the top right. We originally, I think, had 35 points. Now we're down to 15. That's harsh. All right, let's try red. Move red over here. Hopefully nobody crashes into us. So you get how it works. Pretty cool concept. Gotta make sure you follow the trajectory nice and easy. And I missed it again. Why did I miss it? You'd have to try different ways of where the plane's angling up, I guess. Victor's going 4 stars too. What in the world? I know, I'm very impressed. If someone said we want to play an air traffic controller game on the Atari, I wouldn't have given it batted an eye. But this right here, I would say, is the best air traffic controller video game so far of all of the air traffic controller video games out there. You obviously can go for airline. Actually, airline's more of a airline management simulation, not air traffic controller. So yeah, this doesn't have much to compare to. Oh, I missed it again. Yeah, if there's the content here is what you see. There's no other content besides that. The game modes do have different things. Like you can also make the planes move faster because they're moving in a slow variation right now. Yeah, for a genre that's brand new and for a game that I wasn't expecting to be so good, I have to rate this one higher than average. Starting at least 3.5 stars of everything you can play on a home console. It's original, and also the two-player mode, even though it's alternate play, it's almost like when we were playing Demon Attack. Even though Demon Attack was alternate play, it's still fun and frantic switching back and forth. This one would be pretty fun because every time you make an error, you switch and someone else takes over as the co-pilot or the co-traffic controller. Yeah, Charlie's going 3.5. Yeah, I'll say 3.5 stars. It's not up there with like something super amazing, but for the genre, it's obviously one of the best. So cool. Pleasantly surprised there. All right, let's see what our next game is. We're still on the Atari VCS, and here is Firefighter. It's the latest by Imagic. Oh yeah, give me some more magic. This is the 5th game by Imagic on your Atari VCS that we've played on the show. Flip it over on the back. There's really not... Is that really the this is a reconstructed box. There's no information back here? I don't believe it. If we could have a real scan, then I would believe it. But the real scan for this one doesn't look the same. It's like aluminum if you hold the Imagic box in your hand. Yo, no, it's not a Smokey Joe clone. Programmed by Alan Smith. Way to go, Alan. Cool. Actually, I don't think it was. I think it was the wrong back of the box. Let's see if we can get the right one. Yeah, there we go. So there's the scan. And now you can see why it's difficult to scan this one in for Firefighter. And yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's the right back of the box with the correct developer. Here's the ad you would have seen in magazines. 9 game variations for Firefighter. Each one is 1 player only. Can't play with friends. Got to fight fires on your own with some tips how to play. There's the cartridge, the Imagic cartridge with that little slant in the front. Oh, yeah. Oh, really, Charlie? Excellent. I enjoy Imagic. This will be really fun. This is not to be confused with another game that we're going to see later called Firefighter on the Commodore 64 and VIC-20. This is a totally different game. All right, so how do we play Firefighter? Midnight, the city sleeps. Suddenly, cries pierce the night. Fire! A man's trapped up there. Douse the flames with your hose. Line up your ladder. Save him. Keep trying. You're his last chance, his only chance. The stakes are high in Firefighter. So the game objective is to rescue the panicked man from the burning warehouse. As the fire spreads higher, they climb floor at a time to escape the blaze, and he reaches treacherous heights. Only by reaching him with a ladder can he be saved. Put out flames with your hose, race back to the engine, jump on and scramble up the ladder, snatch him up from his fiery peril. Get moving. Console controls, the cartridge. Oh yeah, they're telling us how to put the cartridge in. Thanks. We didn't need that. Gameplay, you direct all rescue operations with the left joystick. The joystick away, and we'll explain this when we go into the game. It's pretty simple, moving left and right, and then up and down with the joystick to control the fire hose. And then the ladder is equipped with that. You hold down the red button on your Atari VCS joystick to angle the ladder and change where the ladder is going to go, and then climb the ladder. It's a lot of instruction. Notice all this text in the manual. Imagic usually doesn't have that. Usually it has some pictures in here. Yeah, very, very fun game, especially the way that this is something of a fresh idea. So the difficulty lever has how quickly the fire spreads. So you can push this and flick the switch between position A or B. The firefighter puts out the flames or any parts of the building, and it spreads upward in the warehouse. And there's our game variations. If you do game 1, it's a 10-story building, and then every game mode after that adds a different story going down, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. But if you do game mode 9, you start with a 3-story building, but then if you rescue whoever is trapped, then it adds another floor and to a maximum of 10. So we're going to do game mode 9, so you can see the floors get higher and higher. And there it is for scoring, and then some tips of how to play Firefighter. Great manual, Imagic. I expected more pictures, though. So this one's also available in PAL regions and in Germany as well by Starsoft. Let's pop in and play the first one. This is by Brad Stewart. There we go, by Imagic at the beginning of September 1982. Let's see what we got. So I'm going to go with game mode 9. You can see every time I do a different game mode, it's bringing the level of floor down. Keep it coming, keep it coming. And then yeah, we went 9. So start on 9, and then let's do this. So you start off first with your firefighter that's able to move left and right, and then if I want to douse flames, I'm just pushing up on the joystick. So you get this really nice animation of the fire and really nice fire hose that can take out all the flames. And then now all the fire's gone. You go back to your next to your fire truck, hold down the red button, and now you move the joystick and it extends the ladder. Climb up to the top, and then wait for him to come over. Let's go, dude. You need to be rescued. He makes his way all the way to the right. And we get for He's a Jolly Good Fellow and move on to the next level. So with this game mode, it's going to add another floor. We're now on 4 floors. So much fun. Yeah, great concept, great idea. And this is something that you don't see a lot too, firefighting. All right, so we got it all. Let's bring the ladder out. Which floor is he on? Okay, he's on... Oh, he's on the next floor. Nope, not that one. So you have to hold down the red button and then move the joystick. Let's try it again. I'm trying to go left and right, but it's not working. That's extending the ladder and bringing the ladder back. And at one point, it was doing it. There it is. Cool idea. So fun. And now we're on the next level, added another floor. We even have fire sound effects. Notice how that it went away? All right, so let's extend the ladder. He's on the first floor. Come over here and get rescued. And your score is based on the timer. How fast can you do the fire rescue? And if you take too long with a fire, it'll start going higher and higher up on the floor. Oh, I still hear the fire, but I don't... Oh, I think I see it. Oh, there it is over here. It got a little bit... There you go. And so when you hear the fire go out, it makes a sound for you. All right, let's go ahead and extend the ladder and do the rescue. Awesome. That's a good point. Down at the bottom by the timer, you can run out of water. Thanks, Charlie. Fun little Easter egg. If you look in the flames, when the flames get maxed out, it makes a BS for the designer of the game. Brad put his name in the game with a smiley face, too. So you have to slow it down. But look at the flames. There's a BS for Bradley and the smiley face for Bradley Stewart. All right, it's getting to showing off Bradley Stewart's name with Easter egg, and we're gonna burn the building down. Quick! Douse them all. Uh-oh, he's gonna get burned up. And we're using way too much water. And you can change the game modes to make the flames come up really fast if you wanted to as well. All right, so let's make the jump. Come on for the rescue. Nice. Yes, or BS for that too, Victor. It's an Easter egg. I like the audio cue that tells you you're done with the fire. All right, let's make our way here. Come and get rescued. And I always forget that whenever you go over to the vehicle, you can't extend the ladder unless you're standing here. You'd expect to be able to be on the fire engine and then extend the ladder, but you have to go on the platform and then hold the button down and then extend the ladder, or make any changes to the ladder. You don't do it while you're on the fire engine. It may have been both, Victor. We don't know. We need to ask Brad Stewart and see. So I consider this a really fun, a great idea, a title for Imagic. This is their 5th game on the Atari VCS, and they're off to a great start. Lots of good games to play on your home console. That's true. We never would have got that either. All right, so let's switch it up to this one. We'll do game mode 5 and just watch the building burn up. So of all the games we played since the beginning of time, firefighting, we've had 7 video games that involve something with firefighting. 7. So this game, for this theme, has only 7 games to compare to. And majority of them are going to be on other systems because this is the very first firefighting game on any home console. So right now, if you wanted to play a game where you're firefighting and you have a home video game console, this is the only way you could be doing video game firefighting, right here. Very unique idea and concept. Yeah, 3 for originality. I'm with you there as well. Yeah. So because it doesn't have so much competition and is done very well, the other firefighting games, the only one I can think of was actually involving arson, was Firebug on the Apple II home computer, but that one was really fun. But this one is an excellent game compared to the other ones we've seen for home computers. So I got to give Firefighter the nod and say it's an above average title. 3.5 stars of everything you could play right now on a home console. 3 for originality. Mainly's going 3 as well. Yeah, I agree with you, man. It could have been an arcade game too. Yeah. Oh, so nostalgia coming in, Charlie, for this one. I'm with you there. I understand the power of nostalgia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put the video game playing on pause. Tune in next episode where the video games have worked themselves into a frenzy and we got to go to the arcade. That's it for today, and like I always say, looks like I picked the wrong week to quit video games. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.